Besides, nobody ever said they were going steady, and if he does want to go steady, he's got to do a lot better than movie burger backseat, because there are plenty of guys with bigger backseats waiting to take her someplace nice.
Where are your parents?
What's funny? It's easier to ask than it is to tell, and it's sure as hell easier to tell a joke to your friends than it is to stay up until 3 a.m. waiting for some magic ha-ha funny stuff to come out that deep-fried little meatball I call my brain and make its way onto a Word document. So I consider every joke that makes me laugh in a TV show a miracle. And if that's the case, Daria is not a miracle. It's as close as I'm ever gonna get to heaven.
Hello, Quinn. It's me, Daria. Can you help me make my friend look pretty?
All right, you bitch. What do I do?
Daria is a show that began as a spinoff of Beavis and Butthead. It follows Daria Morgendorffer as she travels to a new town and attempts to navigate high school life, home life, and living up to the weight of her own moral compass. Now, Daria ran from 1997 to 2002, meaning I missed this original run because up until the year 2000, I was busy not being born. Then I was filling my head with quality content like Greatest Heroes and Legends of the Bible, Garden of Eden. Now watching that is literally my first memory on this earth, so I think that accomplishment alone is enough to deadass crown myself king of all cartoons and yap for hours about why Daria is one of the funniest pieces of media that ever existed.
Tone, babe! You heard what Mr. O said about seeing my inner strength?
Babe, he was trying to say you're not getting any smarter.
Oh, well, am I supposed to?
Yeah.
Notice I said funniest, because that's like the only aspect of Daria that I feel like internet discourse doesn't give enough credit to. We can really talk all day about Daria and the political and economic state of the world, and I intend to in like 600 more Daria videos and a full Daria retrospective. But bruh, the comedy in this show gives me an out-of-body experience. Like, real out-of-body. I'm in my room doing that wheezing laugh everyone does, the one where your head get hot and then the room starts spinning and it's kind of scary because you think you're about to pass out. Like, it hits that good. You see, in the world of art and entertainment, there's hundreds of ways that a show can make you laugh. Visual gags, well-placed timing, long wind-up toy setups like Curb Your Enthusiasm and Seinfeld. But if you asked me, Easy, your local bum on the internet, what the secret sauce in Daria is, it's a long-lost tool of all aspiring creatives. Wit.
Do you think contacts reveal the Eunice inside?
I don't know. Who's Eunice, and why doesn't she get her own body?
But when I say it uses it as a tool, that might be underselling it a bit. Daria doesn't really use wit as a tool. It's more like how I use my dog, meaning it's the only thing that's keeping me together. Daria uses wit to effectively deliver jokes to the audience, establish the personality of our characters and their emotions, and then does tonal cartwheels that take you from laughing your ass off to like the verge or tears, or maybe like sometimes beyond the verge. But I'll break it down. I'll start with the first episode, Steamers. Daria Morgendorffer moves to Lawndale with her headstrong lawyer mother Helen, her popular and self-obsessed sister Quinn, and her father, the unhinged Jake Morgendorffer, also known as the GOAT of cartoon dads, not because he's the best, because he is simply the realist.
Helen, thank God I found you! Look, Helen, about that Superwoman stuff, that wasn't me. That was the milk talking.
Take this scene where Jake is driving Daria and Quinn to their first day of school.
Don't get upset if it takes the other kids a little while to warm up to you.
Hi, you're cool. What's your name?
Quinn Morgendorffer.
Cool name.
Will you go out with me?
I'll try to help her through this difficult period of adjustment.
That's my girl. Wait a minute.
See ya, Dad.
Actually, we'll throw Quinn and Daria in here too. In a few seconds, we learn Quinn is a foil to Daria. She's got gravity, you know, the kind of person that just attracts everyone in a 100-foot radius. And Daria, not so much. Then there's Jake. Everything that happens around him takes an extra few seconds to catch up. And then you multiply those seconds by the fact that every other person in his family is on like their third sentence before he can even push out one. So he's lost, like gone.
Mine's gone, woman. Where did it go? I don't know.
You get so much out of these characters in just one scene, and 99.9% of the time, you also get a laugh. At least I hope you laughed at like at least one of these clips. If not, keep watching the video anyway, because I gotta make some kind of point eventually. After Daria gets her introduction to
Lawndale High,
she's diagnosed with low self-esteem by one of those Rorschach tests that television convinced me I would have to take one day. That's where she meets Jane Lane. She plays the role of Daria's partner in crime, her confidant, and honestly, I go as far as saying she's the only reason that Daria has decided to engage with the world outside of her own comfort zone. Jane's taking the same self-esteem class as Daria, not because she needs to. No, she's taking it simply because, like Daria, she enjoys other people's discomfort. Watching people suffer is like a sport for these girls. They get together and the jokes start rolling immediately.
What do they talk to the boys about?
a classroom full of guys and a male teacher.
Nocturnal emissions.
In a different show, Jane and Daria might be a little overwhelming or like a bit unlikable, but the reason I think that never happens here is A, the world is not kind to Jane and Daria. They kind of can't do anything without getting shit from somebody, and B, it's wit, an intelligent exchange. That's how you could describe the majority of conversations between Jane and Daria. And honestly, you can kind of use that to describe the conversations that everyone has, whether it's the fashion club or Helen and Jake. When you're watching the show, there's like this feeling that starts to creep up. I think a lot of people attribute it to like relatability, but I'm not sure if that's it. Watch these characters talk to each other long enough and everything just starts to feel real in like a sort of intangible way that makes the teen drama and social commentary hit twice as hard. By the time Daria and Jane are fucking with the school assembly that they get assigned to in the back half of a steamers, you're already hooked.
On the other hand, having all of you know that I had low self-esteem makes me feel kind of bad, like a big failure or something. I want to go home.
Daria, wait!
Another thing I noticed when Daria gets brought up online is the hyper focus on Daria. Does that make any sense? No? Okay, what I'm trying to say is maybe y'all need to show the boy Chuck a little love. Never mind. Jody and Mac actually. Never mind. That's like a full video by itself. Brittany. Yes, I can do something with Brittany. Justice for Brittany. During the late 90s and early 2000s, the media trope of popular kid bully was in high demand. The entire fashion club might fit that mold if the show was written from someone else's perspective, but since Daria is older than them and they spend most of their time hanging out with her younger sister Quinn, they kind of just ignore Daria for Quinn's sake. There's a running gag where Quinn pretends like Daria isn't her sister, and we learn at the end of the series that the fashion club goes along with it just because, you know, Quinn's their friend. That leaves us with Brittany and Kevin, the star quarterback and cheerleader respectively. The showrunners and writers seem to have decided it was much funnier to just make them kind of stupid than the meanest people in the world, and I think that really works for the show.
Now it's gonna be cursed or something and we're gonna lose all our games. I'm a little surprised, Daria.
That makes two of us.
I didn't figure you to believe in all that mumbo-gumbo.
Kevin is unique in the sense that he seems to exist solely as a cautionary tale for like dudes who peaked in high school. His interaction with Daria largely boils down to him calling Daria a brain and her frying his shit on a level that his mind just can't seem to process. Brittany, on the other hand, always felt a little deeper than me. almost like Brittany would be friends with Daria if the concept of her being friends with a brain wasn't something she just never considered. Even if Daria and her run in different circles, and Daria clearly doesn't have the highest opinion of her, which I mean, I don't know, Daria doesn't have the highest opinion of most people. In certain shining moments, it feels like Brittany does at the very least see Daria and understands that she isn't a bad person just because she's the quote unquote misery chick. Take the episode Through a Lens Darkly where Daria starts wearing contacts. What begins as an episode where Daria almost runs down a dog morphs into a study of how she views physical appearance and how her big round glasses make her feel like her. I always thought this episode was cool in a sort of meta artistic design kind of way. Daria's big boots, green jacket, and glasses are hallmarks of her character design that signal to you that she's an outsider in the MTV era that was giving way to Britney Spears, boy bands, and crop tops. So when Daria gets some decent advice from her cool Aunt Amy and decides to give contacts a chance, she looks in the mirror and starts to wonder, who the hell am I? Which, as a fellow half-blind person who tried contacts in senior year of high school because he thought it would make him look more like Michael B. Jordan instead of Irving from Billy and Mandy, only to realize his eyes are built like Squidward, I can relate. Everyone inside and outside of school starts to compliment Daria's new look. Unfortunately, the contact lenses start to scratch up Daria's eyes, so she ditches them. And also she ditches her glasses. And then she kind of just starts to spiral. This all sort of reaches ahead with Daria locked in the school bathroom, questioning her own rigid morals and judgment. The bathroom scene is great, man. Jane's there, Jody's there, and they're all trying to convince Daria that it's alright to care a little bit about how you're perceived. It's alright to be a little bit human. But it's not Jody who gets Daria out the stall. It's not even her best friend, Jane.
By the way, Daria, I just want you to know that I think it's really brave of you to get those contact lenses and admit that you care about the way you look, even just a little. Because knowing that a brain can be worried about her looks makes me feel, I don't know, not so shallow or something. Like we're not that different, just human or whatever.
Well, thank you, Brittany. You're right. We are just human or whatever.
Now in your average teen drama, that's the end of the scene because it was real and it made you feel good. But this is Daria, and the intelligent thing to do, the witty thing to do, is to make sure you get a laugh too.
That was really nice, Brittany.
It was?
I gotta admit, that was the right thing to say.
Wow! These things really do work.
We know Brittany isn't the smartest, but she does think, and she is paying attention to Daria right now. And that's all she needed. Alright, so I've been praising this show for an entire video, and I will probably continue to do so for the rest of my life. But for the sake of my argument, I'm gonna say this right now. When I say wit was the only thing holding this show's writing together, I really meant that literally. Daria doesn't have loads of weak episodes to me. Even the uneventful or strange ones are usually fun. Like the musical episode, I eat that shit up. But there's one episode of this show that I want to skip every time that I do a rewatch. I think this holiday episode is ass, y'all. Is that a hot take? Is somebody gonna come for me?
Shut up.
Well, too bad, bruh. I don't care. It's my video and I'm gonna explain why this silly little holiday episode breaks Daria on a fundamental level. And no, it's not because without explanation, magic exists in this grounded cartoon. I'm a young man who likes fun. If a show wants to get silly, I can get silly. I sat through all the dream sequences in Sopranos and I love them. But this is not funny and this is not entertaining. It's boring. It's what I imagine people who don't like Daria think Daria is like. They broke this show like how they broke Steve's legs in that episode of American Dad.
Come on, guys. You can't really...
Yeah, I've never had to go this route before. The deal was pay or get his legs broken. So yeah, I guess we're all square.
I'm gonna make this quick. Daria is walking home as she does when she meets these two bums.
Let's just say he's the St. Patrick's Day leprechaun, and I'm Cupid.
Oh, you idiot! That's who we really are!
They tell Daria that she needs to help them on a secret mission to return the missing spirits of Christmas, Halloween, and Guy Fawkes Day. Apparently, it's an English thing. Hold on. I'm getting this straight off of Wikipedia. Guy Fawkes Night, also known as Guy Fawkes Day, Bonfire Night, and Fireworks Night, is an annual commemoration observed on the 5th of November, primarily in Great Britain, involving bonfires and firework displays. Okay, sure. Yeah, so Daria is tasked by Luck of the Irish and Mikey from Recess to help them get back the holiday teenage spirits to Holiday Island. So I guess that the holidays don't stop existing. Daria being Daria starts frying their shit.
Oh, certainly. You just proved to me that you're really a leprechaun and he's really Cupid, and my winged horse Pegasus and I will be at your service.
This episode is so ridiculous. We need your help, Daria. No, what you need is a bath, Musty. Mikey does his little magic on Daria and makes her reveal her true feelings for Jane's older brother Trent, who I've somehow managed to go this entire review without mentioning. Then Daria just kinda runs away. Later on, Mikey spins back and hits Jake and Helen with a freak beam, and Daria is convinced to help them. Luckily for her, the other holiday spirits just show up at the Lane house to play music with Trent. I was desperate for something to make sense and tried to find some reason why Guy Fawkes Day is just Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols other than him just being British, but I found nothing. The rest of the episode is pretty much these holiday teenagers being kind of snarky, rude, and stank. Like, that's their only defining character trait other than being bums. At first, Daria's like, no, I can't make them go home to Holiday Island. They don't want to be there. That would be wrong. Even though it's gonna quote unquote destroy the natural order, the world could be ending and Daria and Jane would still be trying to get jokes off.
But then there'll be no Christmas or Halloween or Guy Fawkes Day.
No Guy Fawkes Day?
But after a while, the holiday spirits are just so annoying that they decide, nah, they gotta go. So Jane, Daria, Mikey, and the leprechaun guy travel back to Holiday Island through a portal behind a Chinese joint. I got nothing. Where we learn the missing holidays are actually the popular kids in a holiday-based high school. And at this point, the jokes have ascended to critical mass levels of crustiness.
Oh, here comes Memorial Day.
You gotta help me. Lincoln's gonna make me recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Call him off!
Daria comes up with a plan to get the holiday band to go back to Holiday Island by giving them a paying gig, because they're a band, that's why they wanted to play with Trent. And whenever her and Jane come back, no lie, the three holidays are boxing because Halloween decided to get a job and the other two want a cut of her paycheck. At this point, I'm like, fuck the band. I just want to see her dog walk these two dudes for the rest of the runtime. Then everyone, including Trent, returns to Holiday Island. They play a terrible song in the gym, and after they're finished, the holiday band tries to get Trent to join them and stay on Holiday Island forever. I'm not really sure. And he's like, nah, I got better things to do, like be in Mystic Spiral and sleep on the couch. And so he's replaced by President's Day, which I'm pretty sure is like made of multiple people, if I read that right. And that's it. Oh yeah, and in the B plot, Quinn tries to stop Helen from having a baby. It might be the best part of the episode if I squint. For the sake of transparency, the name of this episode is Death Takes a Holiday. This entire thing might just be a bit. It's kind of bad on purpose. It's also a play on Death Takes a Holiday, which, fun fact, inspired the movie Meet Joe Black, where Brad Pitt speaks patois.
No beer, sister, no devil, no dopey. Everything gonna be irie.
Even that is not saving it from me. I'm not gonna call this episode lazy or the worst thing I've ever seen, because that would be ridiculous. But what I will use it to say is that when you pull away from what makes Daria so great, you know, wit and intelligent exchange, the stuff I've been dragging this whole review, and then insert characters that are paper thin, it's kinda hard to watch. If you're not careful from the outside looking in, this show can seem like Daria and the people that orbit around her, but that couldn't be further from the truth. These characters, even the side characters, are interesting, hilarious, and full of heart. If you get rid of that, then all you have left is kinda...
It's like, bollocks is what it's like.
Everything about the show Daria amazes me. I've read, watched, and played stories from my whole life that have left an impression on me. But the way the people and storylines are written here to make me laugh and make me feel deep emotions all in the span of 15 seconds inspires me every time I press play on an episode. It's the type of writing that haunts me whenever I pick up a blank script. I feel like I can list off plenty of fantastic modern shows and films that are tightly written and funny, but even among my favorites of all time, I can't tell you a show that masters the art of wit better than Daria.
Thank God we never have to go back to that freak show.
We are required by law to show up for the next 4 years.
What?